Stories that define our state's character. Here's Kevin Mackey with this week's Montana Moment, brought to you by Montana Chevy Dealers.
With sputterings of snow and rain, splashed with warm days and cooldowns, it's a typical Montana spring. It's time to put away winter and welcome flowers. In our Montana Moment, Kevin Mackey with the tulips of Easter.
Tracy Potter-Fins plucks a bouquet of tulips at County Rail Farm and Field 5 Flowers in Huson.
This is called Table Dance, and this one is called Mirage.
These are just some of the 50,000 tulips that Tracy and her partner, Bethany Stanbery, grow on their farm. They especially like fancy varieties.
Double tulips that look like peonies, fringe tulips that have little teeth on the petals. We grow a lot of fancy, big, single tulips, so ones that open up to be almost as big as my head.
The farm starts harvesting its tulips in early February. They're staged to make sure that everything doesn't bloom at once.
Some of these are coming up and blooming right now. There are others that are shorter and not ready to bloom yet. That's because we pulled them out at a later date, so we'll have a consistent supply of tulips for fresh flowers.
These tulips have yet to bloom.
A red impression right in front of us, which is a really big hybrid single tulip. So these ones we grow primarily for Mother's Day for wholesale, so our brick and mortar stores.
Most of the tulips have their beginnings where you might expect.
Primarily, we work with a couple companies in Holland where we get our bulbs.
The farm needs a yearly source of tulip bulbs. When ready for harvest, the flowers aren't cut from the bulb. The entire bulb is taken and later cut when the flower and its leaves are sold for a bouquet. The bulb is not replanted.
You need to have a full season of regeneration, so it needs to have these leaves on it to gather sunlight, to gather energy. So if we were to cut them at the base and take them away, we'd take away all of those leaves, so all of the ways that it gathers energy. When we pull out the entire bulb and we cut the bulb off when we're selling it, there's no way for the plant to regenerate all of the energy that it's just spent putting up a bloom. So if we were to plant that bulb again, we'd get really small, pretty insignificant tulips for the first couple of years before it could regenerate that energy again.
Tulips require cold winters.
If they don't have 14 weeks of cold weather, so 40 degrees or less, they won't bloom properly. They won't be very strong. And same with peonies. Peonies need that cold weather treatment in order to bloom properly.
The farm sells a lot of peonies too. Daffodils are among the first spring flowers to make an appearance. The farm has 6,000 daffodils.
Gosh, I think about 20 different varieties of daffodils, and they're perennials, so they just pop up on their own, and they come in a lot more than just your standard yellow. There's peaches, there's whites, there's creams. They're really beautiful, bright oranges. These are lilies for production. They should be ready in late May, early June.
County Rail Farm supplies organically grown flowers and vegetables to several retail outlets in western Montana. It has its own farmers market stand on site. Tracy has been running the farm for 14 years. She grew up in Moscow, Idaho.
My mom was a professor of forestry at the University of Idaho. My dad ran a computer software company, and I grew up not wanting really anything to do with gardening.
But she liked being outside. She worked on organic farms in Europe and fell in love with growing plants. The farm grows many plants outside, but many are grown in greenhouses.
In Montana's cold climate, you can't grow many flowers in the wintertime, but thanks to greenhouses and a lot of TLC, there will be tens of thousands of flowers ready for spring.
The greenhouses help us extend our season early and late, and they allow us to control the environment a little bit better. We're able to control that environment to get a really premium bloom. Those colors really come on and brighten our days after long Montana winters.
And nothing says spring more than tulips. Kevin Mackey, NBC Montana.
If you want to watch this story again, or if you missed one of my previous stories, you can watch every Montana Moment in a special segment on our website at nbcmontana.com.